action, and her message is especially for you to get out there and to do something. Ladies and gentlemen, Kat Chan.
Hi, I'm Kat, and as Alan said, I've been arrested 17 times.
Yeah!
I don't only want to be known as a vegan criminal, but I want to inspire an alternative way to directly engage with politics and to express the beliefs that you hold. The reason why I have sacrificed my liberty 17 times, not including annoying court appearances where I have to travel all the way from my home in Scotland and all the fines that I have to pay, is because I am engaged with direct action. Some examples of us engaging in direct action have resulted in us blocking McDonald's distribution centres, garnering national coverage, climbing on a slaughterhouse truck demanding plant-based gardens instead of inhumane, inexcusable slaughterhouses, blocking a rabbit fur farm subsidiary company and promptly causing that said fur farm to shut down. This was TNS Rabbits, if anyone remembers that monumental campaign. As well as making videos of us spilling milk in a Harrods and another one in a Waitrose, generating millions of views and buzz around these actions. Disrupting major dairy distribution centres, causing cow's milk to have shortages on numerous UK shelves, successfully liberating 23 beagles from the UK's largest industrial puppy breeding facility called Marshall Bioresources, aka MBR Acres, exposing the RSPCA's Assured scheme and subsequently having them drop all animal flesh recipes from their websites. Now, I can list many more actions that I've done, many more actions that we've done, but I'm mainly here today to validate and clarify this kind of protest called direct action. Now, the Martin Luther King Jr. Center defines direct action as the use of tactical, non-violent, strategic means to bring an oppressive party into dialogue. So it's a moral force to combat injustice, and it can include many forms, including marches, outreaches, film screenings, workshops, social media posts, civil disobedient disruptive protests such as blockades and lock-on to slaughterhouses, as long as it involves the abolition of injustice. So why do direct action? It's not only to possibly give you a criminal record, but it's allowed huge press coverage of niche animal rights topics not being currently talked about within society. It's allowed speakers from formerly known as Animal Rebellion, now known as Animal Rising, to go up on national television and explain what is wrong with our current archaic traditions and our broken relationship with animals. They've allowed the public sphere to directly engage with our perspective during these viral moments and have them question why we do what we do, sparking conversations both offline and online. They've directly disrupted harmful supply chains and pressured corporate companies into adopting a fully plant-based or complete vegan stance. Now, all of this obviously for the animals and the environment as a bonus too. Now, voting and writing petitions is great and has its own benefits, but how do we expect individuals to create systematic change when the system itself is inherently broken? The only way is to make a stance, to cut through your noise, use your voice to cut through all this noise and to make a dent in the system through more effective pressure campaigns. If we look throughout history and think of pivotal moments that have changed society's way of thought, what do we think about? We think about the suffragettes petrol bombing mailboxes. We think about the Black Rights Movement and their diner sit-ins and other protests where they endured mass police brutality. We think about the LGBT movement and them smashing windows during the Stonewall riots. We can look back at all these instrumental moments that changed history and realize that sometimes there's an element of violence, but direct action doesn't always have to be this way. Currently, we get more wins and public understanding when we passively resist, when we strive for a peaceful end and to embody a future that we want remaining. Animal Rising take a completely non-violent approach borrowed from the likes of Martin Luther King and Gandhi. Animal Rising get their own explosiveness from public peaceful protest and non-violent direct action to bring about a plant-based systematic change. Personally, all my actions have been non-violent, having undergone provided training, and obviously there's more to these actions than just the front-end facing, attention-grabbing actions, as there's a lot of back-end preparations that come with every protest to ensure safety, outcome goals, and support for all action takers. For example, there's a lot of volunteers that get involved with supporting activists who are currently under arrest at police stations, who have court trials or have fines to pay. So no matter if you can't get arrested or not, there's always something to do if you want to support the direct action community during action season. Making a loving community and making the vegan movement more unified, close-knitted by unifying all the different activism communities. Now, I'm not discouraging other forms of activism. Every form has its own place, its own pros and cons, and every form is needed for a complete movement. For example, the effect of having both tame and tension-feeling actions is integral to the radical flank theory or tactic. This means as the more radical part of a movement demands immediate abolishment and pushes boundaries, the more tame groups look more approachable towards the general public. Even these historical movements have started from tame, humble, grassroots beginnings and evolved to them getting what they want and changing the whole world by escalating their protests and highlighting their issues. So therefore, if you value the idea of animal rights being talked about on social media, if you think that liberating beagles from a future of testing and vivisection inspires our movement, if you want to directly impact the lives of animals while building a solid community of like-minded, compassionate individuals, please come see if direct action is for you by talking to me or anyone else from Animal Rebellion, or you could email us on our website or contact us through any other social media means. So I'll end with saying, without breaking the rules a little, thinking outside the box, and a little civil disobedience, how else are we supposed to move the Overton window and change the hearts and minds of people? Thanks so much for coming. It means a lot to me, and it means so much for the animals. If anyone is in Cambridge next week, from Tuesday to Friday, we have the Beagle plea hearing then, so please come support us. And yes, please come see if direct action is for you, because it's changed my life and I've met many wonderful people.